Hello guys, in this video I will start a mini series of videos showcasing a new example of Filament with public page in addition to that. So recently I saw a job on Upwork with this description summarized. So you have a room sharing and booking platform with 3 different roles, and we will build 3 different panels for them. So tenant users, then property owners managers, and admin panel back office. So typical project like booking.com, like probably Airbnb or something like that. But you may take that as an example of booking pretty much anything or purchasing pretty much anything. So there's a public front-facing website. And the main challenge and the main thing that I wanted to show you with Filament with that is user area. So from the public page, users should be able to go into their own area, like property owner, for example. So this is exactly what I will show in this video as the first part of the series. We will talk about how to create those links depending on the role, and also for the case where the user is logged in already. And also we'll talk about verification. So we will send an email to admin who would verify the property owner to be able to log in into their Filament panel area. And this series of videos will showcase the new project on our filamentexamples.com, this one. So if you want to get the full source code, it will be available for premium members of Filament Examples. And in the future videos, we will also talk about Google Maps integration, Stripe integration, and the system for internal messaging between the users. But today, let's focus on this user area links and verification. Let's dive in. First, we start outside of Filament with the question how to get the links from outside public page to Filament. And we have 3 panels and how to generate those 3 links for different roles. And not only that, if I'm logged in, for example, if I click property owner, I'm redirected to owner panel login area. And then if I do log in as property owner, I'm inside of my Filament panel. But if I visit the home page again, then that user area should not show the same drop down. The click should still redirect me to my owner area because the system knows I'm logged in as owner now. So how does it look in the code? In the header blade file, in the public design outside of Filament, we have this. Guest and else blade. If I'm not logged in, there's another blade component which has a lot of functionality like Alpine. It doesn't really matter that much for us. What matters is this. Let me close the sidebar. So did you know that there's a helper Filament get panel? You could of course hard code it like /admin/login or /owner/login, stuff like that, but this is more like Filament way to do that. And also the opposite, in the header blade, if I am logged in, there's a function get user panel link which doesn't come from Filament. It comes from Eloquent user model, but inside we also have this. So global helper Filament get panel by name, and then there's get path. So this is if I am logged in, and this get login URL if the user is not authenticated. Also in the same user model above you can see can access panel, and this is how we protect 3 different panels by their roles, but basically 3 if statements, and if none of those are true we return false, which means no access. Next, let's take a look at verification of the new user, and this may be different for different panels. For example, for tenants we have only email verification, and this is in the tenant panel provider we have this enabled. But for owner panel provider, we also need to verify the owner by administrator. So in this case, in addition to email verification here, down below in the auth middleware, we have this owner user verified middleware. Inside of that, we check if owner user is verified, which is just a function inside of user model to make it more readable. So have a separate field in the database owner verified at, which is by default null. And let me show you how it works. If I sign up as a new owner, I hit sign up and I'm greeted with this page. So I need to verify my own email address. But actually 2 emails have been sent at this point. So I'm using database driver for my queue jobs, and I have 2 jobs in my database. And if I launch queue work, it should send 2 emails. First, owner user created notification and then verify email. And I'm using Mailtrap to send and receive emails, and I have two emails as you can see. Owner user created. It's for admin to visit admin panel and to verify that user. So we will talk about that in a second, but for now let's verify our own email address as an owner. We do verify, and now we have another page, still 403 forbidden, and you can design it in maybe a better way, but the main thing is that the account should be verified by administrator. And at this point in the database, the new user has email verified at as set, but owner verified at is null. Now we go to the second email, and I will copy that and paste into a different browser. So a different session for admin login, and I'm logging in as administrator. Now go to users, and here we have the last user, and we can click verify. And if we do that, this is verified, notification, and now in the database, if we refresh, we have this owner verified at set. And now if we refresh our /owner, just refresh, we are inside of the dashboard as a verified owner. Of course, the process should be polished from UX perspective, but for demonstration, you get the idea. How can you verify the user of a particular role with particular panel for that role by administrator, and maybe disable that verification for other roles or other panels. If we take a look at the code in the registration form of owner panel, we override the base registration from Filament, and after we create the user, we get all the admins and send the notification to them. And that notification inside may have user ID if you wish, or you may redirect to just regular admin panel login. And then in the admin panel, in the user resource, in the table, you should see action. Visible only if the user is not verified yet, and when we click that action, owner verified at is set to now, and that's basically all the process for verification. So yeah, this is the end of the first video in the series talking about property booking project. Again, if you want the full source code, it's available for premium members of Filament Examples, as well as other 75 projects on GitHub. And in the following videos on this channel, we will discuss the same project, but with the features of integrating Stripe, Google Maps, and internal messaging system to exchange messages between different roles of the system. So subscribe to the channel to not miss those videos. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.